Thank you, Lindsay Michaels, and we are live in downtown Holland as the Holland American Legion March Band passes by us right now. The American Legion Band, under the direction of Tom Working. Many years, Henry Vanderlyn was the director of this band, and of course, they'll be performing in Washington, D.C. over Memorial Day weekend. And of course, they're a staple during the summer in Holland. Tuesday nights, Collin Park, great performances, great musicians, this Holland American Legion Band. And coming up next year, we have the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Henry Walters Post 2144. Established in 1914, the VFW Auxiliary is the nation's oldest veterans service organization auxiliary. And the local auxiliary meets the second Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. at the local VFW Post 175 West 8th Street. Coming up next.
Next is my daughter. There's MJ Stahl and my daughter, Katie Bosch, and they are taking the GMB, Agricultural and Engineering, the parade sign down here, and they're right in front of
the Grand Marshal. And wearing in an open cockpit Camaro and waving at us, it's Dutch. Yes, the mascot of Hope College. Today is May 14, 2016. It was 150 years ago today that Hope College received its charter from the state of Michigan.
There's Scott Vanderstroop. We got some of the department heads, some of the faculty members down there from Hope College.
I think Tom Renner is down there with his wife Carol.
There's Trig.
Yeah, Lynn Poe.
Oh, Tom Renner. No way. All the way from South Haven.
Oh, he wants to take our picture.
The Renners, a staple.
And then, of course, we have something very resembling a tulip passing by us here. This is the 87th Tulip Time Festival, and we have the festival board and staff on the float. I see Sally Lakaitis in front of us here.
I see Nathan Box.
Gwen Auerta, the executive director, and a lot of the other Tulip Time staff. I see Brian Davis from Holland Public Schools, who's one of the board members. Just amazing, and of course, this has become one of the signature events throughout the entire Midwest. Coming up next year, Alec Dixon, who is the artist that created the poster for this year.
That one, yep.
And a great, beautiful painting. Coming up next, we have the West Ottawa High School Marching Band.
Mike
Nick
Hammond,
Weaver,
Jay Ginsford, and these high school teams, the local teams, Holland Christian in West Ottawa, and Zeeland. These guys rotate every year. And different parades. So West Ottawa gets to be the lead-off band this year. Jay Ginsford along with Mike Hammond, and he'll give us a wave down here in a couple of minutes. We'll pick up some of the music from the West Ottawa High School Marching Band. They won numerous awards. Thank you, Mike.
This year was their 22nd straight year with a Division I rating at the band festival.
And I mentioned the other day, this goes back to guys like Tom Updegraff, who for many years was a band director, Gary Lucas, guys like Kerry Wheeler, and then Dean Christopher, who passed away just a few years ago, poured their life into the band over at West Ottawa like many of these do. And we've talked, Greg, that we do high school and college sports, but this is an opportunity to salute the band directors.
Absolutely.
Who spend most of their time in the background, but they come up front and center during Tulip Time, and a big salute and thank you to them. And we got some of the council members. Who do we have, Greg?
We have the whole Holland City Council with us, led by Mayor Nancy DeBoer, who is the first year's mayor and the first female mayor in the city of Holland's history. The rest of the city council: Wayne Klomprins, Quincy Bird, Mike Trethui, Jay Peters, Brian Birch, Brian Lynn, Todd Whiteman, and Dave Hoekstra. Now next is the West Michigan Regional Airport float, and you got the airplane on the float. And the West Michigan Regional Airport has won 2 parade awards, one in 2013, the other in 2015. 95% of air traffic that comes into West Michigan Regional Airport comes from local businesses, making our airport a valuable community asset, and so many of our businesses rely on that airport for helping drum up business activity.
Exactly. Well, Tulip Time 2016 is brought to you by our good friends at Fence Consultants, installing confidence that lasts a lifetime, by Metal Flow Corporation, by Vanderveen's The Dutch Store, Michelle Sales, the Holland Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, Randy's Carpet Care, Holland Tire, the villages of Appledorm, Compound Door, Between the Covers, Dallas Smock State Farm, Rest Haven, and Maple View Animal Hospital. And now, whenever I see Holland High School, I still keep thinking of Chuck Bullard, but the director this year is
Demetrius White. He's in his first year as the band director, and but of course Holland High, they're in their signature wooden shoes, wearing black uniforms and with red trim, and the color guard. They're all wearing Dutch costumes with the flags of the various Dutch provinces. The Holland High Marching Dutchman Band have performed in the Tulip Roses Parade twice, the Indy 500 pre-race parade 6 times, at Walt Disney World 11 times, and Disneyland twice. And the Marching Dutchmen have also participated in performances for 4 U.S. presidents and Princess Margaret of the Netherlands.
Well, Greg, this is the 87th Tulip Time Parade, and I've been to 64 of them.
Have you really?
Yes, 64 of them. I just thought
we're not giving away our age, are we?
I'm not giving mine away. I'm not giving yours away. You're still a kid.
Well, I'm still a rookie. I'll always be a rookie next to you, man. But you talked about the bands, and Chuck Bullard, you mentioned his name. He was such a part of this festival for so many years, directing this band. And then, there have been some other band directors that have come along after that. Demetrius White, in his first year, doing a great job with the band, and they're kicking up their heels, Nick.
Oh, they're doing it, baby. I wonder what song they're going to be playing this year, Greg. It's in there somewhere. Come on, you're the news hawk. You can do this.
Yeah.
Hey, they're playing it.
Tiptoe through the tulips, baby.
You got it. And we'll pick up some of the music of the the Holland High School Marching Band.
And welcome back here. And right after the Holland High Marching Band, we have another great Holland High group, the theater program. And this is like a recurring theme, Nick. Another state championship for the Dutch theater program this year. They won the Class A title. It's the 18th time in 26 years Holland has won the state title. Kevin Schneider has just done an amazing job with this program. This year's play was Strider, and many of the cast and crew have been performing The Marvelous Wonderettes. That's a musical that's been going on as part of this week's Tulip Time activities.
I can remember when Diane Feenster was directing this years ago, and they've always had a very strong program back even when I was in high school, which is a long, long time ago.
And again, so many kids have gotten such a great opportunity to experience another part of high school life through being part of this Holland Theater program.
Yep.
Next is the City of Zeeland float, and Feel the Zeal.
Oh yeah,
yes,
baby.
And you got the logo.
Where are the dandelions?
That's Borculo.
Oh, that's the Bork. Well, that's pretty close to Zeeland.
Yep, and you got a number of folks from the City of Zeeland on the float, and some of them are wearing the Pumpkin Fest T-shirt. Of course, Pumpkin Fest takes place in the fall.
Pretty much. All right, Greg, what year is this Ford?
Oh my God, I would say that's a '66, Nick.
Yeah, I would say it's probably a 1958, 57, somewhere around there.
Well,
what's the license plate say?
It's a yellow license plate, and it's Congressman Fred Upton behind that red Mustang. Of course, Congressman Upton's been represented Southwest Michigan in Congress for more than a quarter century, and you might have heard of his niece.
His claim to fame is
he's the uncle of Kate Upton, who is engaged to one Justin Verlander,
who did a pretty good job last night, but couldn't seal the deal.
Yeah.
Next we have, go ahead, Greg.
Okay, we got the Holland Christian Marching Band coming up next under the direction of Scott Vandenberg. We mentioned Henry Vandelin's name with the American Legion Band. For many years, he was the band director at Holland Christian, and
they're going crazy.
They are dancing, and it looks like something that you might see, like from Southern University or Grambling University,
or Muskegon Heights.
Oh yeah!
Remember the Muskegon Heights band we used to have here? Oh, these guys are having a little bit of fun. That's cool.
Yeah, the Symphonic Band and Orchestra traveled to Florida this spring and performed concerts at Disney World. Once again, the Holland Christian
they're getting a big
band.
hand here. Let's see if we can pick up some of the music. Right now we've got Cadence, the maroon and white of Holland Christian. As the sun comes out and blesses us on this 87th Music Parade in beautiful downtown Holland. And next up, Greg, it looks like we have a Triumph.
Yep, and right behind the Triumph is State Representative Daniela Garcia. She's the 90th District Representative. She represents the cities of Holland, Hudsonville, and Zeeland, as well as the townships of Holland, Jamestown,
Hi, Danielle.
and Zeeland. She's a West Ottawa High School graduate.
I had her in class a long time ago.
And a University of Michigan graduate, and doing a great job as a state representative. Her dad, Frank, was superintendent of schools in Holland not so many years ago. And now coming up next, we have the West Ottawa High School robotics team. They've just completed their 22nd year of competing in the first robotics program. This year they competed in St. Joseph, Allendale, and West Palm Beach, Florida. This year's robot played the game Stronghold, where the team's mission was to breach the defenses of the opposing alliance's tower. This team also helps out each year with the Tulip planning activities, the West Ottawa robotics team.
Well, I'll tell you, all the robotics team that we have in this area, we've been blessed with a lot of sponsors that have been helping out with that. I know my son has benefited from that. He's in electrical and mechanical engineering. He got his start with robotics over at Holland Christian. So, again, thank you to all the mentors that work with that and then the local sponsors. And, Greg, you went and saw the game last week. What is this?
This is the Douglas Dutchers. This is, if you're not familiar with them, they play by vintage baseball rules, like the game of baseball was played back in 1860. They had a game last Saturday as part of the festival. I actually watched some of that game, and they play every season around the Midwest, and it is a lot of fun. And now following the Dutchers, we have Sparty. Yep, Michigan State University's mascot coming down 8th Street.
Can't go there.
Well,
can't go there.
Yeah, well, my fiance is an MSU grad, so I got to go there. So we'll have to beg to differ on this one. Coming up next, the Holland High 8th grade marching band, and like the high school band, Demetrius White directs this band.
Yep. And there's Miss Bannock. Hey, Bannock. And, of course, we have the Holland Police Department represented.
Right, and they're recognizing the officer of the
Who's that guy in the middle? That's Dan Kinder.
And he's smiling at us.
Hey, he's loving it, man. From the Holland Police Department, Sergeant Dan Kinder. Always love to get a smile out of him every year.
Yeah, this year's Holland Police Officer of the Year, Joe Slink.
Joe Slink,
a 14-year department veteran. He's a K-9 cop, doing a great job. He's now he received the honor from his peers and final selection from the command staff.
And
next is your favorite, Nick Weber, the Zeeland High Marching Band under the direction of our friend Keith Walker.
Keith Walker, another one of my wonderful students, and Keith just does a great job. He's the one that chewed us out for being on the wrong side of the road the other day.
Reason why, I'm Gary Stevens. I'm stepping in for a minute. When we finished our broadcast on Thursday, Nick and you and Mary Ellen, when we got soaked, it was with the Zeeland Band performing in front of us, and good for them in the sunshine.
And we're going to pick up some music from the Zeeland High School Marching Band.
I love the uniform design, Nick. They incorporate the colors of both the high schools.
Yep.
You got green, brown, and gold, mixing in both the east and west.
And they dried out their uniforms, too.
I'm sure that probably needed a high industrial strength dry cleaner to dry it off after Thursday. Coming up next, Representative Amanda Price. She's waving at us.
I think this is her last term.
It is her last term. She'll be term limited this year. The 89th District Representative, former Park Township Supervisor. For many years before that, she worked in the office of Jesse Dahlman when she was a state representative as well.
Good place to learn.
Coming up next, we have the Red Flannel Festival from Cedar Springs. This year's queen is Bailey Lockneat, and her court members Jessica Plowman and Megan Zinn. They do the festival every October in Cedar Springs. They're going into their 77th year this year.
They're feeling right at home in this weather.
Oh my goodness! The Planet Fitness coming up next. We got some people on a flatbed riding bikes and doing their exercise while riding on the back of the flatbed. So. Coming up next, we have Lou Chamberlain, the West Michigan Whitecaps CEO, with Leo Martinosi, the longtime sports editor of the Holland Sentinel, and Crash is here. The Whitecaps mascot is here with Lou Chamberlain as well.
And you can catch Leo on WHTC every morning. I think they're on about 7:55.
Mouth to mouth with Leo Martinosi and Gary Stevens on WHTC's Morning News. Coming up next, Carolyn Stitch.
Oh, you know this lady.
Oh, absolutely. She has her art studio over on.
There she is in the back.
On College Avenue at 8th Street. And Carolyn's waving at us, and she is an amazing artist. Visit her studio. Her artwork is just, I've never seen an artist use bright colors the way she does. And Carolyn's taking our picture, Nick. Well, we have the West Ottawa High School. Actually, the Harbor Lights 7th and 8th grade band under the direction of Whitney Brainerd. Harbor Lights, located on the north side, they have a history of producing outstanding award-winning bands.
One of two middle schools. They have Harbor Lights and Makatawa Bay, the two middle schools that feed into West Ottawa High School. They're dressed in all black today. They're anticipating rain or cold, and they're dressed nice and warm. And, of course, black with the sun, that's going to help them heat up.
Yep, absolutely.
The sun is shining. There's Jay Ginford. Jay, the high school band director, along with Mike Hammond, but he's here with the middle school today. Now that fire truck's been around the block a few times.
That's a 1936 General fire truck. This is the Vintage Car Club of Holland, which has been around for more than 40 years. And we've got a 1936 General fire truck driven by Rick George. Dale Lampin is driving a 1928 Studebaker. And Tom Tolles is driving a 1932 Packard Coupe. Did you drive one of those, Nick, when you were in high school?
Yeah, somewhere around there, yep.
Back last year, the VCCH raised funds to restore a vintage automotive advertisement on the back of the Good Earth Cafe. You may have seen that. It's the one that's got the Studebaker, DeSoto, and Plymouth advertisement on there.
Well, Tulip Time 2016 brought to you by our good friends at Fence Consultant, installing confidence that lasts a lifetime, by Metal Flow Corporation, by Vanderveen's The Dutch Store, by Rochelle Sales of Sparta, the Holland Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, Randy's Carpet Care, Holland Tire, the Villages at Appledorn, Compound Door, Between the Covers, Dallas Smock, State Farm, Rest Haven, Mapleview Animal Hospital.
And we'll be back with more of the GMB Music Parade from downtown Holland with Nick Weber. This is Greg Chandler here on 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
Nice. Look at that, Greg.
Oh, my.
DeBoer Bakery. It's only water. It's only water.
Get into the Food Network Challenge with the food truck there.
I'm in. Penfield, Battle Creek.
Yep, West Ottawa grad as the director.
Who?
Blake Driver, 1992.
Oh yeah, Blake. Yeah, I know Blake. That's not him though. Blake Driver, West Ottawa. Blake Driver. Huh. Cool. Heisinger.
And welcome back to the GMB Music Parade from downtown. We just had the Battle Creek Penfield Marching Band, and the local tie here is that the director, Blake Driver, Nick Weaver, 1992 West Ottawa graduate. Did you ever have him in class?
I had him in class. He just waved at me.
Yeah.
It's good to see these kids come back. You know, they know Tulip time. Their band directors outside of the area. They say, hey, can we come and be part of it? Love to see them come back home.
We just had Congressman Bill Heisinger just passed by us, and now coming up next is the float from the Danish Festival, which takes place every year in Greenville, which is northeast of Grand Rapids. This year's festival queen is Brianna Van Houten, first runner-up Shelby Kleinert, second runner-up Abby Donnelly, young Miss Mariah Myers, and junior Miss Kennedy Ferguson. Brianna will represent the festival at Miss Michigan coming up next month in Muskegon. And now we have State Representative Mary Whiteford representing the 80th District, which is
pretty new.
Allegan County. She won that special election just back in March to replace the expelled Cindy Gamrat.
Yep.
And now we have Sinterklaas coming down 8th Street.
Nice. This is nice weather for him.
Hey, this is perfect. I mean, he should be nice and warm in his
I know that guy.
in his robe. Of course, Sinterklaas, part of Dutch Winterfest, which takes place in Holland November 19th through December 10th.
I've seen that guy at WHTC a couple times in 92.7 The Van.
Our next band coming up is the Hamilton Middle School Band, another West Ottawa graduate, Joe Herrick.
Joe Herrick, yep. He's been doing this for a number of years.
So West Ottawa has been producing a lot of band directors.
And hopefully we'll pick up some of the music of the marching band here at Hamilton High School. They're moving right along.
Now, that's the Hamilton Middle School Band. Coming up next, we have Champion Gymnastics, and they've been a huge part of the Holland community for years, promoting the sport of gymnastics. You think about the great gymnastics programs Holland High used to have. All those gymnasts got their start at Champion Gymnastics.
Jerry Kowalther was the coach for years, along with Tim Lunt.
Right, absolutely.
Well, you know, Metal Flow is our sponsor for the Kinder Parade, and it was Crown Motors for Volks. We want to tip our hats to GMB,
absolutely,
the sponsor of the music parade here today.
Right. Also, the parade chairperson Steve Habercorn, who has dedicated many volunteer hours to making sure this music parade is a success.
You know, the city of Holland plays a big part with Tulip Time. They work together. We want to tip our hats off to the people that take care of the grounds here.
Oh yeah,
they've just done a fantastic job. I don't know what the lady's name is, but a blonde-haired lady, she's down here as soon as the snow clears, they're out getting this place ready. And then for like Hollandia Gardens and Blue Ridge Landscape Design, they put these.
You think of people like Rick Zweep and I think it's Shelley DeVries.
That could be the lady I'm talking about.
Yeah, and they put so much effort and so many,
it shows.
Right, and there's so many volunteers too every fall plant the bulbs that become the tulips that you see all around town. Coming up next, we have Crown Motors. As Nick mentioned, Crown Motors sponsored one of our parades earlier.
Yep, they sponsored our Volks Parade, our kickoff parade on Wednesday.
And now we
Building blocks.
We have the Bike and Bar from New Holland Brewery. I love this. You got 10 people all pedaling, and, well, let's just say they're enjoying a brew right now, Nick.
They're having some adult beverages, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if they're enjoying, like, what's their Dragon's Ale, or is their signature beer?
I'd be going hot chocolate.
Well, I brought my own hot chocolate in a thermos today. So coming up next, we have Fox 17 WXMI, and a number of their personalities here coming down 8th Street.
Weather, I'm looking for one of my volleyball players. Erica Francis is now doing specials for Channel
is
17.
She? Wow.
Yeah, she played volleyball for me a bunch of years ago. I don't see her. Hey,
and,
Dave.
And they have the Fox 17 road
Dave,
trip trailer.
How you doing, buddy? Good. Nice hat. Dave's a background guy for years. I think he just retired, though.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and he's in the parade here today.
Coming up next, we have the Holland Community Aquatic Center, and one of the finest swimming facilities in the entire country.
50-meter pool. And who's the director? Jack Heisen. Let's see if he showed up today.
I guess he's around today. We have a lot of the people here from the Michigan Lakeshore Aquatics Club.
A lot of swimmers.
But state and national level champions have come out of this pool.
How about Bartholomew?
Oh, yeah. Cartley Bartholomew. Coming up next, we have the Michigan West Coast Chamber of Commerce. I see Liz Hoffwell down there. And we have a yellow Mustang coming right behind with State Representative Roger Victory. Roger, a representative. He represents the eastern portion of Ottawa County, 88th District, a local farmer. I think he's a 4th or 5th generation farmer.
You'll hear him on WHTC periodically.
Yep. All the state representatives still make the periodic appearances on Talk of the Town.
Let's stand up here, Greg.
Oh, yes. We have the Vietnam Veterans Association Chapter 73. 5 guys, 3 of them carrying American flags, 1 of them an American flag, 1 with the Vietnam Veterans flag, and the other the POW MIA flag.
Vince Reeson in the middle with the American flag. Thank you, guys.
And we have the float as well. This is awesome. I mean, these guys get the biggest round of applause every year at this time, and well deserved. Absolutely.
Well, Greg, what division are we in here right now?
We're midway through Division 3 right now. Coming up next here, we've got Grant Me Hope. This is a organization whose mission is to find foster children and adoptive family. There are 600,000 children in the U.S. today available for adoption. 300,000 are considered unadoptable because they are too old, are in sibling groups, or have medical and emotional issues. If you want more information about this organization, Helen Zirp is the person to call, 616-836-7949. I think she's the president of Teddy's Transport, the trucking company in town.
Be.
Yep. So, yeah, that's a great organization. Coming up next, we have a float from Holland Christian Schools.
Now, this is Explore. This is their 3 through 5
This is their fiddler program right here.
Preschool, yep. We got a little singing, a little violin playing.
This is awesome.
Oh, the kids playing violins. That's
they're
cool.
part of the Holland Christian Elementary School Orchestra program. Coming up next, we have Chan's Martial Arts, a great school on the east side of Holland where they teach young people and even adults about the various martial arts. And my daughter took classes there, and she loved it.
We got about, 20 or so students down here in this one?
Yeah, wearing black outfits, black and gold outfits, wearing with the various belts representing their various classes. Coming up next, we have a couple of cars from Channel 3, WWMT.
All the way out of Kalamazoo, I believe.
Yep, correct. And we have some of their news people down here as well. Sunshine, it's breezy out here, but
it feels nice.
The sun has opened up, and it feels a little warmer out here, Nick.
It's nice. Yep.
We're
dressed for it, though.
Yep, we have a float from Chemical Bank. Chemical Bank has been around since 1917, and they have 185 locations around the state. You want more information? Go to chemicalbankmi.com. And coming up next, the River Rats are here.
Oh, I love this. If you want to be in a band and you don't really care for marching, this is the school you want to go to.
Yeah, Black River Public School under the direction of John Montgomery. They won the Governor's Award at last year's Tulip Time. They have an awesome jazz band. Check these guys out.
Pop music there.
I think that's Birdland.
Could be.
They received the first division rating at jazz festivals, including the Best Band Award at the New York City Jazz Festival, held at the Lincoln Center.
Here comes a couple of oldies but goodies.
Here's some more cars from the Vintage Car Club of Holland. A 1911 Model T Ford driven by Ron Elzinga.
105 years old, Greg.
Yes, and doesn't look a day over 10. John Windemower in a 1923 Model T, and Dick Chambers a 1928 Model A Roadster.
And we get a nice big Suburban here. Kind of cool.
Coming up next,
about the old and the new.
Yep, another festival from just up the road, the United States Coast Guard Festival from Grand Haven here in their red, white, and blue float. And, of course, that festival comes up...
4th of July, isn't it?
Actually, end of July, early August. 10-day celebration honoring those who serve in the U.S. Coast Guard. Next here, coming down 8th Street, is the Harbor Humane Society, the animal shelter located in West Olive, just off US 31. Their goals and mission are to provide the highest standard of care for animals, reuniting lost pets with their owners, and giving animals a second chance of life and love. Great work, great people at the Harbor Humane Society.
Hey, we got a Corvette convertible, Greg.
Yes, and it's carrying Mrs. Michigan 2016, Lori Nelson.
Welcome to Holland, Tulip Time, Lori.
And coming up after that is I love this yellow vehicle.
This is Camp Geneva.
Yep, Camp Geneva. They had that yellow, I don't even know what.
It's a taxi. Yep.
It's a cab.
It's a cab, okay. Well, it's got 4 doors on each side. And Camp Geneva offers summer camps for kids from first grade through college freshmen, and they also offer meeting and retreat space for churches, school, and businesses. CampGeneva.org is the organization.
A lot of the kids that work there are Hope College students that come down and work as counselors down there, and our grandkids have all gone there. Our kids have all gone there. It's been a great experience right over here on Lake Michigan.
And probably one of our most colorful entries of the day. Ballet Folklorial Soul Azteca from Holland Public Schools. This is about maybe 40 or 50 kids from about 4 years age to high school, and they learn.
They're dressed.
They
Beautiful.
learn of the various folk music styles of Latin American culture, and they're under the direction of Holland High alum Angela Gonzalez. Coming up next, we have a float from Coldwell Banker Woodland Schmidt.
They've been here 40 years.
Yep, Jack Bauman and the rest of the crew.
It all, yep.
They're in a blue and white float with a little miniature house built on it.
Yeah, I believe Jim Juries was part of that group too back a number of years. Next, we have the Macataw Bay Middle School.
7th and 8th grade band.
Yep,
Heidi Jankorski and Whitney Brainerd are the directors. Heidi Jankorski nominated for Grammy's Music Educator Award for the 3rd consecutive year. Let's give them a listen. They were doing a kind of a mashup of the Superman and Batman themes.
Yep, and they're dressed for it too with the black and red.
Coming up next, we have a the old style truck from Meyer 50 Acres, a replica of the first Meyer truck that Frederick Meyer's ancestors started with many, many years ago out. I think it was in Greenville, actually.
50 Acres, now it's Meyer. Yep,
yeah, just plain old Meyer.
Exactly.
And, of course, Meyer has stores throughout the Midwest. Coming up next, we have the Michigan Sugar Company.
That's sweet.
Absolutely, and they have the Queen's float this year. The Queen this year is Riley Smith of St. Louis, Michigan. Her court members are Briley Harder of Fenwick, Michigan, and Leah Thornton of Mayville, Michigan. We're going to take a break here and return with more of the GMB Music Parade from beautiful downtown Holland, alongside Nick Weaver and our producer Gary Stevens. This is Greg Chandler here on 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
Yeah, do traffic this time. Then when you finish with the traffic, throw it back to negative traffic. I was trying to point out the middle of the menu for St. Louis.
Oh.
St. Louis, Michigan.
Right next to Alma.
Right next to Alma before Breckenridge. I know that route too well.
What do you think, C? Nice little red bud in the back. You want to hit GMB again?
Sure. Thank you, Lindsay Michaels, and a great big Tulip time thank you to our parade sponsor, GMB Architecture and Engineering, and to parade chairperson Steve Habercorn, who has dedicated many hours to making today's parade a success. We continue on. We're about the halfway home here at the Muziek Parade, and our next band is the Holland Christian 6th grade band under the direction of Matt Veenstra. The majorettes are directed by Stacy Reitman.
Well, Tulip Time 2016 brought to you by Fence Consultants, installing confidence that lasts a lifetime. Metal Flow Corporation, Vanderbeens, the Dutch Store, and Bushell Sales. And there's Rich Nagelkirk. How you doing, Rich? Well, a beautiful afternoon down here, and again, a number of you probably stayed home and listened to WHTC for the parade. I know my mom at 95 over at Freedom Village is listening today. And as you see our sponsors throughout the year, let them know how much you appreciate listening to not only sports, but the parades on WHTC. Greg?
Our next float, Bowerman Blueberries, which has been a staple in...
Won't be long.
Oh, yeah, 1954 they have been around, and you pick blueberries. I mean, boy, I can't wait for blueberry and strawberry picking season.
If you go out there, you can also get blueberry donuts, and they're wonderful.
Coming up next, we have the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Holland, featuring our local and state Youth of the Year winner, Abria Franklin. She's a 10th grader at Holland High, where she's involved in the participants in the Pillars Educational Outreach Program at the University of Michigan, Vocal Dimension, and she's a varsity cheerleader as well. She wants to study pediatrics. You'll like this, Nick, at the University of Michigan when she graduates.
Love that U of M.
Our next entry, the Frisian Connection and the Michigan Frisian Horse Club. Of course, the Frisian horse comes from the province in the Netherlands, Friesland, in the northern part of the country. The black horses with that wonderful looking mane.
Yep. You know, there's the Dutch, and then there's the Fries.
Yeah,
and
there's a difference.
My mother's from Friesland, and there's a distinction there. There's kind of like a railroad track.
Well, Friesland is kind of like on the border of Belgium.
Yep, it is. Yep.
Right. Freedom Village of Holland, the float for them, and I'd be remiss if we didn't, as
Bill Vanderbilt.
Bill Vanderbilt, yeah,
Exactly.
Bill, who just passed away not too long ago, and
wonderful guy.
He was one of the founders behind Freedom Village, and we certainly miss Bill.
He was a great voice for athletics. Had a great perspective on athletics. In fact, I talked to Bill about a month and a half ago and said, he wrote an article that was in the Holland Sentinel years ago about keeping perspective on athletics, and I said, Bill, it's probably time to bring that up again. He never did it again, but I sure appreciated the impact that he had on my life and a lot of other students that went to Hope College.
And we had the Holland Lions Club, which had their big chicken barbecue dinner last night, and now the Salvation Army float. And the Salvation Army has had a presence here in Holland since 1936, and they provide so many services to people in need.
And of course, you always think about the red bucket collection.
Absolutely.
During Christmas time.
Absolutely. Yep. Coming up next, more entries from the Vintage Car Club of Holland. Jerry Gearman in a 1958 Buick. Oriana Bruno.
Studebaker next.
1961 Studebaker Hawk. And then finally Bob Israel in a Model A4, 1929, decorated in maize and blue, Nick.
Gotta love it.
But it's got an MSU license plate in the front, though.
Well, they're trying to do a little bit of both down here. They're trying to be politically correct. Go blue!
But
is that Jim Harbaugh in there? Oh, no. He'll be here next year.
No.
After they win the national
Leo will
championship.
bring him here next year.
Exactly.
Coming up next, we have the Michigan Youth Challenge Academy, which is a program through the National Guard to intervene and reclaim the lives of 16 to 18-year-old high school dropouts, producing program graduates with values, life skills, education, and self-discipline. And there's about 120, I would say, people dressed in gray and marching in formation. Very impressive. Coming up next here is the Holland High First Robotics program, as well as with Holland Christian. Holland High has had a program in robotics for 22 years, Holland Christian 20 years. And Nick, you wanted to hit up one of the sponsors for today's parade?
Well, I just want to say thank you. We have a lot of, like Metal Flow Corporation. There's a bunch of them that have been helping out. I believe Yin Feng, actually it was Johnson Controls that's been involved, but a lot of these companies locally are helping out with this. And if you've ever seen any of the robotics competition, it's pretty cool. It's just like the state playoffs, and it's huge, and it's all about working together with other teams. And that's really what working in an environment is for kids when they get out of high school.
Absolutely. There have been so many life lessons they can learn through programs like robotics. And coming up next, we've got a little bit of a gap, but our next band, Nick Weaver, coming to us all the way from Pittsburgh, PA, the Baldwin Highlander Marching Band under the direction of Greg Steele. This band has participated in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, the National Memorial Day Parade, and the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade. And they are dressed in a very bright shade of purple. I don't know if
I'm thinking of Prince.
I was thinking of that too.
And we'll pick up some of the music of the Baldwin Highlander Marching Band. Go ahead, Greg, sing along.
You wouldn't want me to sing. Great music from Pittsburgh, PA. Coming up next, we have Mosquito Squad of West Michigan and Grand Rapids, and we've got people actually dressed in what I guess the best way to describe it would be mosquito netting, over their regular clothes.
Where they're calling for a much warmer than normal summer. I don't know when it's going to start, Greg, but
it can start any time now.
Yep, those are $100 bills that they have on the outside.
Coming up next, we have the Holland Middle School Band.
They're sharp.
Under the direction of Bethany Van Oss. They consist of band members from all K through 7 schools, Jefferson, Holland Heights, East, and West.
And we'll pick up some of their music.
Coming up next, we have the Governor's Award, and this goes to Dittos, which is the resale shop along
Holland Christian.
Yeah, so all the proceeds go to support Holland Christian Schools. We have a float that's being pulled by a fire truck, and then the float, and it's got all kinds of beautiful tulips, and a little bit of water being sprayed on them as well. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Kind of a greenhouse look on this float. Again, that's Ditto, located on 8th Street, just west of US 31. Next, we have St. Willibert Antiochian Church. What St. Patrick is to the Irish, St. Willibert is to the Netherlands. He's the patron saint of the Netherlands. Born in England, he in the late 600s, St. Willibert and 11 companions were invited to Friesland by King Pepin. They made their home in Utrecht, and many churches aboard the Netherlands are dedicated to the memory of St. Willibert, Nick Weber. Things I didn't know.
Give me 10. Pound it down. Give me 10.
We have MVP Athletic Club, and yes, they are doing push-ups on 8th Street.
One of the directors of MVP is a former swimming coach of the Aquatic Center. I can't remember his name. It could be... I can't remember his name. Slips my mind.
We got a float from the West Michigan Filipino American Association Foundation.
Beautifully colored.
Right, and now the Holland Christian Middle School Band performing under the direction of Matt Veenstra and Scott Vandenberg, majorette coach Stacy Reitman, and of course our good friend Rich Nagelkirk, assistant to the program.
And
doing a little Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
And we got the West Michigan Bike Club. Just bought 2 new bikes there last spring. They're located right over here.
Right on Central Avenue,
You bet.
right off of 9th Street. There 75 years that West Michigan Bike and Fitness has been in business, providing great fitness opportunities to so many people here in West Michigan.
Yep.
Coming up next, we have Crown Motors as we approach the Division 5. It's a fast-moving parade so far, Nick Weaver.
Yeah, and we've had Denoyer Chevrolet, we've had Buick, we've had Crown Motors.
Right.
And a lot of these local companies down here donate cars to be used during the parade.
Yep.
I want to say thank you to each one of them for making this parade just so special. Got the big wave down here coming off the top.
Okay, we got the Board of Directors Award coming up here, the Lakeshore Toys for Tots. We're going to take a break here, Nick Weaver, and come back with more of the GMB Music Parade from downtown
Good to see
Holland.
ya.
Coming up next, here on 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
South Holland. Whoa! Woohoo! The guy's pumped.
Sue Shaw and Brian Sterling.
Yeah.
They're in my old church now.
All
they're
right.
they're in what used to be Montello Park Church. Jose! And welcome back to the GMB Music Parade, and passing right by us right now, the La Casa de Mi Padre Church. This is a church that's close to my heart because it's in my former church, Montello Park Church. Pastor Jose Duran is the pastor over there. Wonderful guy, his wife Terry. They are doing an amazing job, and really, and we got a mariachi band trailing the church.
Sounding good.
Awesome. Coming up next here, we have Positive Options. This is from the Lakeshore Pregnancy Center in Holland, as well. They also have locations in Grand Haven, Allendale, and Allegan, providing alternatives for people, for women facing situations where they need help with pregnancy situations. Coming up next, we have the Ottawa County Sheriff Mounted Unit. They've been around for more than 60 years, providing crowd control, security for fairs, business picnics, county parks, festivals, and other major events. I think my friend Teresa Van Leeuwen is part of that group.
A lot of times you see them at like the fairs and stuff like that, or some of the areas where they need help with parking and that kind of stuff. It's kind of cool.
And our next float comes from Remax Lakeshore. They've been assisting the Holland community with their real estate needs for more than 30 years. They're right in downtown Holland on Central Avenue, and they're home to 35 agents. They've been a corporate partner of the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, and they raised $25,000 for Helen DeVos Children's Hospital last year. And we have some of their agents along with their families on the float with the familiar Remax balloon.
Tulip Time 2016 brought to you by our good friends at Randy's Carpet Care, by Holland Tire, by the villages of Appledorn, Compondor, Between the Covers, Dallas Smock, State Farm, Rest Haven, and Mapleview Animal Hospital. And there's one of your favorite friends right there, Greg.
Ronald McDonald is here.
Gotta love it.
Of course, Ronald McDonald representing McDonald's. Of course, the Tony Castillo and the Malargo Six Group, which runs the McDonald's franchises here all throughout the Holland area. And coming up next, we have the Mattawan High School March Band, one of our premier bands that we had on before the start of the parade.
Did an outstanding job, and if we can pick up some of their music, that's excellent.
The Wildcats.
And the color guard up front. Black and white and blue and gold are their colors. Got a lot of smiles from the young ladies going the opposite way now. Of course, the parade route starts on Columbia and 8th Street, and we'll go all the way around to Monroe and then up to Holland High School. It's about 2.5 miles. It's one of the longest parade routes in America. Yeah, we're just getting some cadence right here. Hopefully we get a little bit of music, Greg.
Bill Boswell and Beth Yonker are the directors of the Mattawan High School Marching Band. Coming up next, we have a float representing the National Asparagus Festival in Oceana County. They've been doing this since 1974. The float title this year is Oceana's Most Wanted. We have the Asparagus Queen, Courtney Cox, along with runner-up Connie Vandervelde. They'll actually be having their this year's crowning coming at the festival in Shelby on June 4th. And make sure you visit their website, nationalasparagus.org, or find them on Facebook. The festival this year in Shelby, June 10th through 12th.
Now, I know you love green beans, Chandler, but do you like asparagus?
I like asparagus.
All right, it's all green. All right, Tulip City Beauty College, located right down here on 8th Street.
Right.
The old former Hart and Cooley.
Right. They've been training students for more than 50 years. They have sister schools, actually, in Traverse City and St. Joe, Michigan, as well as, of all places, Granger, Indiana. And they're even doing a little boot scoot maybe there, Nick? Doing a little dance move there.
Well, you know, when you want to get your wig busted, you can get it done there inexpensively, Greg.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I might need help with my hair after this festival here. We have a truck from SAF Holland. More than 100 employees work at the Holland, Michigan location. Another 400 in Muskegon. And you can find their website at safholland.com. That's safholland.com. They make trailer suspension systems, coupling and lifting technologies, and powered vehicle suspensions. Next, we have the rink, which used to be home, which used to be the Tulip City roller rink, I think, years ago. Of course, it's a roller rink, but it also provides opportunities for people to have youth events and for
I've
churches.
been there. I've done it. I've done the skating out there. Kind of cool on the north side.
Absolutely. You mentioned one of the dealerships. Elhart is here with the African American Awareness and Development Organization. They've been
Juneteenth.
Yep, Juneteenth. That comes up the third weekend in June in Holland. And now we got some Dutch dancers to be followed by the Holland High Marching Band under the direction of Joe Herrick and Kim Sahusky. And they participated in the Disney Magic Days Festival in Orlando back in December 2014. Let's give a listen to the Hawkeyes. Coming up next year, we have the Holland Elks Lodge 1315, formed back in 1914. They continue to support our veterans, provide scholarships. They sponsor the Hoop Shoot program, which they do every winter, and they also provide programs for disabled and handicapped children. The cardinal principles of the Elks: charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity. And they're passing by us in a float with an American flag on it. They are a very patriotic organization. Next, we have the Miss Allegan County Scholarship Program and the Miss Lakeshore Scholarship Program. Miss Allegan County 2016, Amanda Haberding. Miss Allegan County's Outstanding Teen 2016, Jessica Myers. Miss Lakeshore 2016, Sarah Bland. And Miss Lakeshore's Outstanding Teen 2016, Tori Jousma. Next, we have the Pulaski Days Festival from Grand Rapids.
Yep.
Of course, they celebrate Polish heritage. This takes place in October. They have a queen pageant, a parade, and a polka mass, and they hold a raffle on the last night of festivities. Pulaski Days going on in Grand Rapids in the fall.
Hey, what's going on in Grand Rapids today, Greg?
Well, it already took place. There was some event called...
what's going on today?
Well, they had the Riverbank Run.
And what's going on tonight? Garth Brooks.
Oh, gosh, Garth.
I think that's tonight.
Yeah, let's see. Well,
they've only got like 90,000 people in Grand Rapids today.
Well, yeah, and that's actually the fourth night, I think, that he's been here, too, with Tricia Yearwood. Coming up next, we have the Gun Lake Hoop Dance Society. They're part of the Gun Lake Tribe. If you're familiar with the Gun Lake Casino,
they're in front of us.
They are operated by the Gun Lake Tribe of Potawatomi Indians. The Hoop Dance Society has participated in the Grand Rapids Holiday Parade and and they actually participated at the World Hoop Dance Championship in Phoenix last winter. Next, we have a float from Dialogue Direct over on Waverly Road.
That's computer stuff, Greg.
Actually, I used to work for these guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Last fall, they are a marketing and customer engagement provider focused on helping brands connect and engage with customers to generate leads, increase sales, and provide remarkable customer experiences. More than 250 globally known brands in Fortune 500 countries use Dialogue Direct. Next, our next band, we have
Columbia Central.
Brooklyn Columbia Central.
One of our premier bands.
Yep, 1968. They go back.
72 years in a row they've been to Tulip time.
Joe Foltz is the director of the Brooklyn Columbia Central Band. He marched in this festival as a student many years ago, and he's continuing on their tradition. Brooklyn Columbia Central was formed in the late 60s with the consolidation of 3 small districts, and it's located in the Irish Hills, a hop, skip, and a jump from Michigan International Speedway. Coming up next, we have Drewski's Gourmet Sandwiches. Very good sandwiches. Locally owned and a Marine Corps veteran. And great sandwiches. We had the Michigan Apple Committee pass by us not long ago. We had Sarah Reisinger of Freeland as the Michigan Apple Queen. Accompanying her, first runner-up, Hannah Rash of Conklin. Now we have the Michigan Great Lakes Midwest Queen. I can't believe how many different festivals we have. They have American Co-ed pageants. MAC will host the Michigan State pageant June 11th and 12th. The purpose is recognizing and rewarding outstanding young women between the ages of 3 and 23 for their past and present accomplishments. Coming up next, more vintage cars from the Vintage Car Club of Holland. Robert Ritzma driving a 1964 King Midget. And yes, it is a really small vehicle. John Thantorp in a 1977 Corvette, and Jim Namovich in a 1987 Buick Regal Grand National vehicle.
And we got Frankenmuth, I think, coming up, Greg.
Oh, yes, the Bavarian Festival. And we have the Bavarian Festival Princess Emily Howe and her court members, Cassie Pierce and Brittany Garcia. Of course, the Bavarian Festival takes place in Frankenmuth during the second weekend in June. And I haven't been to Frankenmuth in a long time. I need to get back over there.
Their chicken is great over there.
Zenders.
Get the chicken. Oh, it's absolutely
Zenders.
Wonderful.
I haven't been to Zenders in forever. And we're going to take a break here and be back to kind of wrap things up here on the GMB Music Parade from downtown Holland. Alongside Nick Weber and our producer Gary Stevens, I'm Greg Chandler on 1450 WHTC.
Had a big gap.
We're Division 6. We're getting close to the end already.
Okay. We got a huge gap in here.
Hey, Liz. Good, how are you? I think people are thinking it's over already.
No, they're moving around.
That's one way of thinning the crowd, calling the crowd down.
This could be Otsego coming next.
Owasso.
Owasso, I mean, yep.
Okay, am I here? Yeah, you can this time, yes. You can't this time. Yeah, do the city one because we can't do it this year unless you promote the website. Nope.
Over a block gap.
Yeah. Lindsay will do a traffic and then throw it back to you.
Thank you, Lindsay Michaels, as we catch the tail end of another of our premier bands, the Owasso High School Marching Band. Jillian Schlegel, Jordan Sturt, and Michael Tolrud, the directors. They've been part of this festival for 67 years. Not quite as long as Brooklyn Columbia Central, but they have been a staple here, Nick.
Love it. No, really enjoyed them coming through again earlier today. And we have the Lighthouse Group.
They have the local insurance
Title
agency.
company and insurance company down here located in Holland.
Okay, and then we have Miss Wheelchair Michigan. This is an event coming up on later this summer. Miss Wheelchair America at the Amway Grand, August 8th through 14th of this year. empowering women of achievement through leadership, advocacy, and education. On the float, made out in pink and black. And our next band, we have from Hudsonville, the Unity Christian High School Marching Band under the direction of Brian Knott. Go Crusaders!
Pick up some of their music. Damian White.
All right, the Unity Christian High School Marching Band. We got some folks here from Walmart coming up next, and how about this? Coming up next, we have the Lakeshore Roller Derby. I happen to.
You remember watching that on television?
It was Saturday afternoons. That was a staple. Roller Derby. The Hellcats. That's their organization. Actually, I think I work with one of the people that's been part of this group over at the.
You can get a little physical in this.
Yeah. But they follow the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, which is the national governing body for amateur flat track roller derby. This is a series of skater-owned and operated leagues nationwide. If you want more about this organization, it's LakeshoreRollerDerby.com. I love it.
Those ladies are a little bumping and shoving going on there right now.
Oh, yeah. Coming up after that, after the Lakeshore Roller Derby group, we have Midwest Communications, of course. They are the parent company of WHTC and 92.7 The Van.
Who is driving that? That looks like Eddie.
It is our Ed for sure.
You know, he's got that single, Skipping Home, Cob Knocker. He sold over 1 million copies of it, and there he is driving the van. You can catch him on WHTC. He does the Trading Post, doesn't he?
And Talk of the Town.
Talk of the Town, sorry, that's right. He's replaced Juke Vanoss, and gosh, that brings back a lot of good memories. We lost one of our staples at WHTC.
Right. Coming up next, we have PKSA Karate. That's a martial arts training school in the traditional art of Tang Soo Do. And they are home to national grand champion Brennan Golly. And they offer a variety of programs in a number of the martial arts. Again, that's PKSA Karate. Our next band is coming up, and another regular at the Tulip Time Festival every year, the Ileana Christian High School Band from Lansing, Illinois, under the direction of Patricia Meninga.
Well, Elaine Geertz has a granddaughter in here. Her name is Callie, and she's sitting right there taking pictures of her granddaughter right now.
Dressed in their very Kelly green and white uniforms.
Greg, to see some of these bands that come here from out of state. They'll be down at Collins Park having dinner down there in the morning, the kind of deal and stuff like that. So they come in, they're here for the full day, and they'll get home late tonight.
Yeah, quite a day, and a lot of memories being made for these high school bands that have made the trip here to be here for the music parade. And I know the folks at Ileana Christian all love coming over here every year. Coming next, we have a float from Bombshell Blow Dry Bar. It's a hair salon located on the north side of Holland, and they've got the full array of of various services, and there's a lot of kids on the float here.
We got boys cuts, we got first haircuts, we've got hair color, pedicures, airbrush tanning, waxing, men's haircuts, lash extensions, manicure. Looks like they do about all of it, Greg. They might even be able to help Gary Stevens out a little bit. What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, I think Gary's shaking his head.
I don't know.
Coming up next, we have the Mental Health Foundation of West Michigan. They have been promoting the Be Nice campaign, which is a mental health education, bully, and suicide prevention initiative that creates a positive cultural change. They've got an event coming up May 21st, the Stomp Out Stigma 5K Walk for Mental Health in downtown Grand Rapids. Learn more at themhf.org.
Back in my high school days, the Cushman Eagle. And we got a group down here with Cushman Eagles, 1960, 1959, 1959, 62. I graduated from high school in 1964, and there were kids in my class that had those, and I thought they were the cat's meow.
And Nick, they're going to have an event at the fairgrounds June 6th to the 10th.
Cool.
Yeah,
Gotta
so
get there.
you get your Cushman on there. Coming up next, we have the West Ottawa men's swimming and diving team. 3 straight OK Red championships, and they've been in the top 10 in each in Division I statewide, including a runner-up finish in 2015. They're on a Holland fire truck.
And there's Steve Boyer, their coach. Congratulations, Steve. Good job, WO.
We have more classic cars from the Holland Vintage Car Club. My friend Phil Mishmerheisen in a 1965 light powder blue Mustang convertible. Ed Elzinga in a 1958 T-Bird, and we got some Cadillacs, and I think that might be Drew Johnson driving the not quite mint green Cadillac.
That one's got the top up today. It's a little chilly, and this heater probably doesn't work, so they've got the top up. This is the T-Bird down here, isn't it?
Right, that's the one that
58.
Yeah, Ed Elzinga is driving that one. Beautiful, great cars here brought by the Vintage Car Club of Holland today.
And don't forget, we have that parade of vintage cars down here in June.
Oh, yeah.
In the City of Holland.
Well, you got the stop.
Tulip City Roofing.
Yep.
Oh, you got one. You missed it.
Tulip City
One more.
Roofing. Experts on shingle roofs, flat roofs,
Got it.
roofs. And did you get some candy tossed your way there,
Yeah,
Nick
it came
Weaver?
our way. We'll give it to you, though, Greg. Give it to
I'm
Gary
not a
Stevens.
candy guy, though.
Gary is.
Yeah. Coming up next, we have the USS Silverside Submarine Museum. Of course, the U.S. Silverside is the most famous surviving submarine of World War II. It made 14 combat war patrols during World War II. Of course, they had the museum up in Muskegon. Yes. Yep. Next, we have Silver Bullet Firearms and Training Center located in West Michigan, marking its 13th year this October. They have a fully trained sales staff as well as NRA-trained instructors. So if you ever wanted to learn how to shoot properly and handle a gun properly,
They'll probably help you get a license, too.
yeah, absolutely. They're the place to go to. Next, we have some folks from WZZM Channel 13. Alex Shabad, the only Holland-based TV reporter in West Michigan. This year, WZZM won 3 Edward R. Murrow Awards, including for the work on the Watchdog Investigative Team. And I think, is that Lauren Stanton down there?
Laura Stanton out of Saugatuck. Yep, the last time I saw her, she was coaching basketball, coaching her daughter's basketball team. I was doing a couple of their games.
And I think, is that Julia Dragas back there? That might be in the truck back there, Nick.
Yep, she said she was going to be there. There she is, yep.
So we got some folks here from Channel 13. And finally, to wrap things up, Nick Weber, they were here last year. The Petoskey Petoskey High School Steel Drum Band. And we're just going to shut up when they get down here and just let them play, okay?
Yep.
Under the direction of Barry Bennett.
2. Billy Dragon. Howdy. Staying warm. Got that cam on the front down here. Yeah. Look down the street, Greg. Dark clouds looming over down there.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get the Petoskey Steel Band as they do a little Stevie Wonder.
Oh, these guys have fun, don't they?
bring the 2016 Tulip Time GMB Architects and Engineers Music Parade to a close. The Petoskey High School Steel Drum Band. Nick Weaver, it went by fast, man.
It went in a hurry.
But it was a great show, and we got it in. No rain. The sun was out most of the night. It was a great parade, and we were happy to bring it to you right here on WHTC.
Take a break and then we'll wrap it up.
We're going to take one final break and then wrap things up here from downtown Holland alongside Nick Weaver and Gary Stevens. I'm Greg Chandler on 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.